V'zehu kisisa esreish b'nei Yisrael. So now he's partaiching the pasuk. He's translating the verse. Kisisa esreish b'nei Yisrael. So this is talking to Moshe Rabbeinu. We said before that Moshe Rabbeinu raises them because he supports the emunah that they have, but he raises them to a much higher level to feed their emunah. So the meaning of the pasuk is kisisa esreish b'nei Yisrael. When you raise them, pirush. What it means is kishatirtza lefarnesam be'emunosam. When you wish to support them in their emunah, in other words, you want to increase their emunah, mechesed elyain, and you take this from the chesed elyain. That's how you support them, from the level of chesed. So, machatzis hashekel, a half of a shekel, sheyored shel hakodesh ha'elyon, of the supreme kodesh, sheyored le'orer es ha'ava. So basically, there are two levels that come down from above. One is already the hamshocha that comes after the haloah, and one is the hamshocha to bring about the haloah. So, in other words, to help the haloah, so the haloah should be proper. Those are the two halves of the shekel, machatzis shekel. One half is to bring about a return, so that infuse you with the energy to go up. And the other one is just coming down, sort of the reward of the elevation. So the machatzis hashekel shel hakodesh ha'elyon sheyored le'ored es ha'ava le'bchinas Ohr Hosofos, that descends to bring about the love in a level of Ohr Hosofos, which means that you should come back and return the love. So it comes down below to bring about a returning light, to bring about a love from the bottom. Lehagabia ulihinosei esrei shemoichin dekneses Yisrael. So what that is, to raise their head so they understand better, their head is more deeper, and so they can really go up to a higher level. So then is v'nosnu ish koifer nafshe chulu machzis hashekel. So how you do that is the pasuk says they give. That's the continuation of the pasuk. So what they have to do is they have to give a koifer nafshe in a level of machzis hashekel. So you have to give a machzis hashekel. What happens? What did you do with the machzis hashekel? Basically, to get to the higher level, to elevation, you have to give a half a shekel to buy korbanos. You have to be makriv, your nefesh abamis. That half was the korbanos. Shehu inyan halos ma'im nukvim il matalamaylo. As we say, ishei reach nechoyach. It's a aroma, pleasant aroma from the fire, you that it goes up. So here he says, then the pasuk says, so why is it that everybody just brings a machatzis, a half? And we're going to see a little bit at the end, Torah Ohr is the end of the maamer, because it almost seems like before we talked about the machzis, that in Mishnayim, the more you give, the more you get. So maybe if you're giving more, you're going to get a bigger, coming down more. But over here he says, it's exactly, lo yarbe v'adal lo yamid, that everybody brings the same korban, v'atamhu, the reason is, ki kvar nishkal hamachatzis b'shekel hakodesh ha'elyon, because the half has already been weighed in the shekel HaKodesh in the beginning, so there's exactly the right amount of the haloah and the hamshocha. Imkein ha'oshir b'mitzvahs v'adal b'mitzvahs shovin. Over there, it's equal. Kikach hoya hamido b'tchila ma'amoided. The measurement l'chatchila set it up. B'chinas moiznei chochma ilah. These are the scales of the chochma ilah to have it 50-50. Everybody the same. So each one gives koifsha nafsha machzis hashekel. So then it says lifkudeihem. Lifkudeihem means also, as he's going to touch here, for their lacking. The reason you're giving it because, as we said before, the closer you get to Hashem, the more you see the small blemishes. So we're doing it is because of the fikudeihem. Normally, fikudeihem means they're counting, but fikudeihem can also mean for their lacking. By your pocket, David, so that is missing. So the reason you're giving this extra, the machzah shekel, is to wipe away and the things that are lacking, that are not there. Pirush kimoi vayipoket David domokoim David chulu. So vayipoket means he was missing, but David's place was remembered because he was lacking, because he didn't show. By the meal that time, David, the Pasuk David, Shu Loshen Chisorin. That is a language of lacking. Well, Inyan Hu, the idea is before we said even the heavens in Hashem's eyes are not clear, which means when you go up to higher madrega, so when the elevation is totally and it goes all the way up to Atzvus, the same thing is by Yidden over here. We say Slach Lanu. Why? Because because then you sort out the total sorting out, and then we yispordu kol poyel le'oven, and all doers of evil, all doers, meaning everything gets separated. Afilu hadak shebedakim chkinal, even the thinner of the thinners also get. So this is what we're saying, lifkudeim. What does it mean? Pirush. So the Farish Hatam, he says the reason. Lomo Tisa Rabbi Why are you raising the head and the mind of the Knesset Yisrael? In order to remember and to make lacking, in order to get rid, to remember and to get rid of the bad that is mixed in hiddenly in their souls together. That's what we have to raise them. Now it's going to be totally separated, and death is going to be swallowed for eternity, which means there will be no more evil at all. We'll separate it, and that's why we need to live today. This is what the pasuk says. Loshin koifer ukemoi. Koifer, the pashtup pshat means an atonement, but koifer can also mean to wipe away. It brings down from the pasuk Loshin koifer ukemoi boy lechapura yode bo gavruchulu. That's that Gemara over there. He says that the Eibishter wants you to be the shaliach. This was talking about when they were trying to destroy the Beis Hamikdash. He says the Eibishter wants you to shaliach to do it, and then the Eibishter wants to wipe his hands on you. Basically, you're going to get punished for what you're doing. So the word lechipuri means to wipe. So he says v'nosnu ish koifer nafshei, to wipe away. The hainu hasoras halichluch. that is to remove the shmutz, the dirt, v'amiyis, and what's repugnant was the chulu. So ukmei kain yichapru nafsho, and likewise, what does it mean? So that means lichpuriyode. So what it means that they will wipe their souls. The hainu sheyusar v'yuvdal kol chelkei hara menafsho. So kol chelkei hara menafsho, so that it will be removed and separated all parts of the evil from their soul. The yispardu kopel lechu oven chulu, and all those that evil will al yidei inyan machzis hashekel, through this idea of the machzis hashekel sheyitnu truma Hashem. They give truma Hashem, everything will be removed. Why? Sharei korban sheba mimenu, because the korban that comes from the machzis hashekel that you give, that's my korban, is nechal v'nisrav agabi hamizbeach legamri be'eish l'maylo. That is totally consumed in the fire of above, meaning so it's gone. Aryeh the ochel kurbanin, that's the lion that eats the korbanos. The fire is in the shape of a lion. V'hu armusa, and that is the elevation ha'aliyah b'tachlis. And when you get oz yehupa gam hara l'toiv, then also the bad is turned into good. There's no more bad. Everything is consumed. Kihimes doinig, as the pasuk says, as the ice melts before fire, so the evil will get lost. So basically, in order to wipe away all parts of evil, you have to go up to the higher level. And by the higher level, over there, everything, just like the korban, everything is consumed, that is consumed as well. V'zeu machzis hashekel hasheni shebekaf hasmoli. So that is the second. The first machzis hashekel, that's the ha'oreh from above to bring up kisiso to the higher level. That's to bring the erchoizer. The second machzis hashekel, which is on the left side, is v'kav hasmoli lahalis v'rapach litzutzim truma laHashem chulu. That is to bring up to Hashem the rapach litzutzim. So you get down the hamshach v'lamaylo to give you the koyach, and then you bring up on the left side. You bring up the 248 sparks as a gift, as a raising to Hashem. But what is the value or the comparison of the elevation? That's relative to the descent from above to below. That's the half of a shekel, which is the kodesh elyon, which is on the right side. Hamachbid v'yored, that makes it heavy, and it descends. The gimel kavim, Torah, avodah, gemilos chasodim, through the three lines of Torah, avodah, gemilos chasodim. That's the way you bring about that hamshocha on the right scale. Uklolusam, in general, is Ramach mitzvah sese, is Ramach mitzvahs amshochas mikodesh ha'elyon. Those are 248 extensions that drawn down from kodesh ha'elyon ki'inyan asher kedeshanu chulu. Those are the, so you can say Torah v'ed gemilos chasodim 248, but it's basically the amshocha that we bring down from kodesh ha'elyon to help us be ma'oder, to be ma'ilel. The more the Yidden increase, strengthening themselves in the act of mitzvahs, then the measure of the kodesh elyon is with a greater flow. Now it is on a much higher level. So basically, the more the mitzvahs you do, and the more you strengthen yourself, the siyas mitzvah, you're weighing down the scale more, and the higher and greater is the elevation. Wasn't made aliyas knesset Israel is hagman. But this seems to be a little bit of a conflict. On one side, we said before, everybody do a lot of mitzvahs, a little mitzvahs. It's 50-50. Machzis a shekel, we said before. That you have 50, it's measured that you go half down and the other half goes up. But here we're saying, no, the more you bring it down, the higher you go. That's what he says at the end of it, last piece of it. So he said the wealthy with mitzvahs should not increase. Well, it does hinge on Ma'aseh mitzvahs. In other words, how close are you going to get to Hashem is depending how much you're going to bring down Hashem to you. So why are we saying that you do not more? You have to do more in order to go higher. So he says, Hare Yadua, it's known, the Klolus Neshamas Yisrael Koima Shlemai, that all Yidden are considered like one body, one story. Varoish totally beregel, and the head hinges on the foot, which means can't go each one separate. We all go together. So in other words, we're in together. So the rich one and the poor one are equal to machzah shekel because essentially we're all part of the same body. So you cannot be more than one cannot be more or have more or give more than anybody else. That's generally speaking, we're all together. But when we measure generally the weight, the two halves, when we measure that what goes up and what goes returned, totally that does depend on the Maismis can do of a dialogue maybe. So it's also not very clear. I mean, it's a barichas, but basically there is a sense where all Yidden are equal because we're all part of the same body, so you can't do. That's in the part of which is called the machzah. Everybody brings a machzah shekel, but then the amount of each individual, how he experiences his aliyah, depends on his yirid, depends on his ma'aseh mitzvah. So we have both. We have, as a general, we're all in it the same, but then individually, we all have the ability to give, to bring down more, and then make the elevation